Hello everyone! Today I will be trying some art hacks from TikTok. I've seen a few and I thought I wanted to try to test them out to see if they'd work and if there's a better way to get the same results that TikTok was showing. From colored pencil to acrylic, we are testing 5 art hacks. So let's get started with the first one. So this is a TikTok from the YouTuber Superraedizzle. This is a colored pencil art hack, and I think that it is definitely onto something, and I want to give this a try. So what she does is she soaks the pencil in water for, she said, 3 to 5 minutes, because it breaks down the outer layer of wax. And I thought this was interesting because wax is water repellent, so I don't doubt that it breaks it down, but I'm wondering if it's going to break down further than just the top coat, and if you're gonna have to soak your pencil 3 to 5 minutes after you do a little bit of coloring each time. And I do have a way to make this maybe possibly a little bit simpler, so let's try this art hack. Okay, so our first art hack, we want to make these cheap colored pencils into something more like a fancy Prismacolor or other name brand colored pencil. So here is the cheaper colored pencils. I'm just pressing down not too hard. And yeah, I can tell that they're very difficult. They're showing a lot of the tooth of the paper. They're not really getting in there very well. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this in to soak. And let's test out one of the more expensive ones to get a comparison. So this is a Prismacolor pencil, as you can see. We're going to do a quick test to see just how different the quality of these pencils are. Automatically, I mean, it's still showing the tooth, and that's going to happen without blending it in, but I can just feel the color is just applying to the paper way easier. It's a lot darker too. I mean, it's a different shade. You know what? I'm going to soak this pencil too, just to see what would happen if you soaked a fancy colored pencil. Alright, so these colored pencils have been soaking for a while, and we're gonna test them out to see if soaking them in water really does much of a difference. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay. Starting off with the cheaper pencil, already the pigment looks kind of swollen, and I'm like low-key concerned about it. All right, let's give this a try. Oh, okay, it like disintegrated. It's like paint now. Oh, that's really weird. You could like straight up paint with this. So this is one thing that I was a little bit concerned about, is that it works for the top layer of the pencil. See, like, wow, that's so weird. Okay, it's like mush. But I mean, that's kind of cool. I like how it looks. It's applying it is very interesting. It's like a paste. But it was only the top layer of this pencil that really dissolved. So you would have to be constantly soaking your pencils. And I feel like maybe you would go through your pencils a lot quicker. If you don't have any other way of blending it, you know, this is a solid way to do it. Honestly, it's just kind of fun. I'm just kind of having a good time right now. Before and after. It's like a completely different medium. Next, we have the Prismacolor pencil. It feels like it's swelled up a little less, but let's give it a try. Okay, so this is interesting. It's doing something different, like the other pencil. It's kind of goopy, and I would say that it held its structural integrity a lot better than the mystery colored pencil, you know, this cheap one over here. But with this art hack, using the expensive ones, you get a worse outcome. So now I have a little art hack for you. I just drew a couple more swatches with the colored pencils like normal, and I'm going to get some isopropyl alcohol, and you might have this if you made some DIY hand sanitizer. And it's going to dissolve the wax and the pigments even better than water does, and it should have a really nice blending effect. So let's grab a cotton swab and let's try that out. All right, so dip, get that nice and submerged. And now for the reveal. Really nice blending. Ooh, so blending. Let's try it with the Prismacolor now. And that has way more pigment in it, so it's really pretty. Ooh, I love that. Oh my gosh, look at that color. That's so pretty. But yeah, if you can't afford some of these expensive colored pencils, those are a couple ways to use the cheaper ones, and I think it's pretty fun. So acrylic pours are super popular right now, and I thought that this was an interesting art hack. It's doing acrylic pours with dish soap or shampoo. I'm very unfamiliar with how acrylic pours work, so possibly this is the way to do it. I'm not sure, but I'm going to test this out. I'm going to look more into it, and I'm going to see if this is an art hack. This TikTok's by the user Dominique Jolie, by the way. I have 4 different colors here. It says to mix a teaspoon of shampoo or soap with it, and I just wanted to make little batches of paint, so I guess I'll do a whole teaspoon, and we'll see how this comes out. Okay, so I have some Everyone Kid Soap shampoo, body wash, bubble bath, so it should probably cover all the bases of soap or shampoo. So I think this is a teaspoon. I don't know, the label wore off, but we're going to put some soap into these and then give it a little mix, and yeah. So this is a lot of soap. I'm a little bit concerned. Okay, so I put the soap in there, and then you're just supposed to mix it up. And personally, this feels like a lot of soap. Maybe I need to add some more paint, but I don't know. I'm just doing what it looked like in the TikTok, I suppose. Really runny. Oh, that's weird. So I think this might actually work. Okay, so I'm actually surprised at how liquid these paints look. It's kind of crazy, and I think that this is totally going to work. So I put down a cloth as a protective layer from my table, and I have a piece of watercolor paper here because I think it's going to be sturdy enough. I don't have any extra small canvases, so I'm going to give this a try, putting a paper bag under there as extra drippy resistance. I don't want this on my table. It is super fluid. It certainly is fluid acrylics. I feel like I'm just making a huge mess. Also, is this like too much for this piece of paper? Step 1 is pouring it. Step 2 is palette knife. Okay. That's not, I mean, it's kind of working. I don't think the palette knife was a good idea. It's not really getting those drippy drop effects. It's kind of working, but also it's kind of not working. Yeah, I don't see the purpose of using the palette knife. It just kind of smears it around, and you don't get pretty effects. You just kind of get, yeah. You see, it just kind of smears it around. You kind of get a smeared around effect. And that's not my favorite. Okay, yeah, I would say that that is pretty much a failure. You know, I'm going to try it again. I'm gonna keep trying it until I can get something similar to the video. I'm not gonna give up. Oh gosh, this one's really fluid. Eek. Oh, this is so messy. I'm not a fan of really messy stuff like this. Okay. I don't know. They just like go over it like that. You know, that's getting some interesting marbling effect. Yeah, what's up with that? How did that happen? That's pretty neat. It's not quite like the TikTok kind of makes it out to be. Maybe I should be using dish soap, but the TikTok said that I could use shampoo. And I'm trying to use shampoo, and it just isn't quite working. Kind of like what I got the initial pour, though. That's kind of cool. Scrape off all this extra paint because it's not doing anything. This is interesting. I'm gonna give it one more shot. Maybe I need to use a different palette knife. Let's try the smaller one. And let's try, I don't know, kind of, yeah, it just, okay. That is just my final verdict. It just kind of just pushes the paint around. I mean, I don't hate it. Maybe I'm just not good at fluid acrylics. So this is a maybe kind of win, sort of. Maybe you could try it out and show me how it's done. I thought this TikTok looked pretty interesting. It's by Bella and Olive. And what you do is you pour some acrylic paints onto a canvas or a piece of paper or something, and then you throw it around kind of in a Frisbee motion to get kind of this spreading of the paint colors. And I thought that looked pretty cool. So I'm gonna try that one out and see if it is a good hack or not. I'm just gonna use the paints that I already had out. These are just a deco art, just like craft paints, by the way. I got them from Home Depot, I think. Do a cool design. Let's do a star. Let's do another star. And then another star. Yeah. This is just tricky. Look at how gorgeous this masterpiece is. Let's go Frisbee it around and see what happens to it. So I went outside and I flinged it around. And I was doing this on my balcony because I don't want to get paint everywhere all over like the sidewalk and stuff. And honestly, you have to throw it pretty freaking hard for anything to happen. So I just kept like throwing it and throwing it and throwing it. And then like some plant matter got into it. And it looks different than it did before, but I don't know if I necessarily enjoy it. I'm sure there's situations in which you'd want to do something like this, but I don't know. I thought that it was kind of too much of a hassle, and I don't think the reward was very worth it. So this TikTok is by the user Jemeems, and they are showing using highlighter and some water to make a sort of a watercolor effect. Highlighters are water-based, and so it should dissolve in water. And you should be able to use this with other markers too, but I'm gonna give this a try. Okay, so now we're going to get into some markers. And this person was using a water-based highlighter with some water to do some kind of watercoloring kind of a situation. Let me grab a highlighter. I'm sure I have one around here somewhere. So I found water-based highlighter. This one is in the shape of a rain cloud, but I'm just gonna paint with it anyway, because I think this is like one of the only highlighters I have. But yeah, so basically what you do is you paint like, or paint, haha, you color like normal with the highlighter. And because it's water-based ink, you should be able to do a little bit of watercoloring with this. So just put some water on top and it should spread around. Yep. So it's dissolving the ink and it's picking it up. And it is depositing it elsewhere. Yeah, it is definitely, it works. So if you're looking for a quick little way to do some watercoloring and all you have are water-based markers, this is a good way to do it. Okay, so I also have some Crayola super tip markers, and I wanted to show you that any water-based marker will work with this hack. So you can get some nice light color washes if you're doing some coloring with markers and you don't have many different colors, especially light colors. With water-based markers, they're always so dark. This technique will help you get some of those lighter washes. And the final art hack is by Cherry Artsy. I thought this one was kind of funny because they use a fork to make some scratches into this drawing, and then they draw on top of it with some color, or with a pencil, to make kind of a textured design. And I have done this technique before, but I'm just like, but why a fork? You could use any sort of sharp object, but I'm gonna try a fork. We're gonna see how this one turns out. Okay, so I did a quick drawing of a braid, like in the art hack video, and this person, I think any sharp object would work, honestly, to do this technique, but this person used a fork, so that is the object I'm going to try. I think the main reason why this person used a fork was because forks are I mean, they'll definitely work. And pretty much everyone has a fork. So it's a very universal art hack, I suppose. I mean, honestly, it's working better than I thought. It's much easier to control this fork than I was expecting. It's funny, there's totally a name for this because I've learned this technique in my drawing classes before, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. So if you know, please comment down below, teach me a thing. So basically, you take your pencil and you kind of put it off at an angle like this, and your pencil is going to only write on the surfaces that are still raised because the fork pressed down some of that paper. It kind of created an artificial tooth in the paper almost. So you get a really nice texture. And honestly, this is a great technique, and I should use this kind of stuff more. I think it's super fun. Add some shading between the ribbons of hair. I would say that this one is definitely a win. Cool. So we tried quite a few different TikTok art hacks today. Honestly, the more I look at these, I think they're super cool and they're kind of marbled. I want to try this out some more, see what I was doing wrong, maybe what I could improve. If you've tried any of these techniques, go ahead and let me know. Also, if you have your own kind of art hacks that you've seen on TikTok, tell me about those too. Maybe I'll check them out. It was fun to try all these out, and I had a good time. I will link all of the different TikToks in the description in case you want to check them out yourself. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!